Hello everyone, we're back. This is Lisa.
And this is Abby, and we are back with episode 5 of our Growth Hacks and Marketing Chats podcast. And today we are covering chapter 4 of our Marketing Alchemy Unlocked Mind-Blowing Strategies from Mary MarketWise. And chapter 4 is all about capturing the leads.
So we have uncovered our target market.
Yes.
We have figured out the message.
Yes.
We have figured out the channels that we want to present the message to. And now we're going to be capturing the leads. This is what this chapter is all about. Make sure you have a copy.
Yes, you can get a copy on Amazon for either an ebook or a paperback. So you can check the link in our description, and you can go ahead and grab yourself a copy there. And if you have a copy and you haven't already, make sure that you have the first 3 sections already filled out, because now we're starting to get to the point where, you know, if we're not doing the activities, we're not doing the workbook in the back, because there is this section 1 through 3 workbook in the back. We're going to kind of fall behind here, and we want people to really be able to just follow along and listen to what we're saying, get a good idea on next steps on how to, you know, really finish your marketing plan.
Because remember, when you are finished with this, you will have an actionable marketing plan, something that you can take and feel good and confident that you filled out, and now you have something to follow to get through your marketing and do your marketing for your business. And it's what an important thing to do to be able to grow.
Important, fulfilling. It'll be great for you to have. Yeah. It'll be great for you to know. So take a second, make sure sections 1 through 3 are filled out. If you haven't heard our other podcast episodes, go ahead and pause this and listen to those 3 so you can get a more in-depth look into it than what we have in the book and what we have in the workbook section. And yeah, so let's go ahead and just jump right into chapter 4, Capturing Leads.
Yeah. Capturing leads. So remember that now that we don't just want, and when you're doing marketing, is you don't just want someone to come in and look at your ads and look at what you do. You want to be able to capture a lead. Even if they don't make a purchase at that second, you want to be able to, this person was interested, and you want to be able to capture the information of that person that was interested in your product on the channel with the message and your target audience. You want to be able to capture the information. So you want to be able to do things like capture an email or their contact information or a phone number or something like that. And a good way to do that is through things like ebooks, white papers, webinars, video training. And I'm sure everyone has seen these over and over again on social media, where there's someone's willing to give you a little bit of the information in exchange for your email address or a phone number, or I don't know what's happening. I got a cat at my feet. But I wouldn't want to work any other way, man.
Like, look down for a second.
We got a cat cleaning themselves over there. You guys can't see that, but it's like there's like a whole jungle going on. I don't know if you can see this one, but this one, I don't know what's going on with my feet. But I'm feeling a little, don't you bite me. Don't you bite me. Your cat's going to bite me, friend.
That's staying in here.
Okay, so webinars and video training. Now I lost my train of thought. Discounts, special offers, free trials, samples, things like that, in exchange for contact information, where you can massage this lead into a sale or into a customer, becoming a customer of yours.
Yeah, and think about what this also does. This isn't just capturing a lead of one person, but all of the things that you mentioned here, they're, you know, things that people would want to share with other people. People want to share information about things. They want to share deals that they've heard about. They want to tell people about samples that they've tried. Like, that's what people want. And so to have something where you are offering valuable insight, advice, education, products that make people want to be like, oh, you know, I listened to this webinar yesterday from these people, or I read this ebook. I think you'd be interested in it. Right? So it's not just about capturing that one person. It's about creating good enough content and good enough strategy to where people want to share that with other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, think about Starbucks. Like, let's be real. Starbucks, they write your name wrong on purpose on those cups, because what do you do when they write your name wrong? You take a picture and you put it on your social media.
I had no idea that you do that. So that's a different generation situation, but I didn't know. Is that a thing? I mean, nobody can spell Lisa wrong, so I guess I don't get to play that game.
I mean, okay, I don't know if that's like an actual marketing tactic, but think about it. Think about how many times you have seen a Starbucks cup pop up in your feed somehow because somebody's name was spelled wrong by one of the baristas on the cup.
Well, I mean, if the Starbucks powers that be set people down and said, we want you to misspell people's names because this is a thing, I think that's genius.
I believe that's what they did.
I hope they totally did. And if anybody can tell us, is that true? Did they do that on purpose? I mean, am I going to get 2 E's if I go in there, Lisa, with 2 E's?
I would hope so.
Oh, my God.
I mean, think about the free publicity.
I mean, I don't go into the Starbucks. People do that. I go to the drive-thru.
No, but like, think about the free publicity you get when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's genius. I want to hire them. It's genius. I love that. I love that. If that's a thing, I love that. Because that's thinking outside the box. And it's probably like it happened 1 or 2 times, and then they were like, "Oh, look at this." Mm-hmm. I love everything about that, and that's great.
Right?
I'm blown away. Okay. So what we're trying to do when we're doing this, and when we're capturing leads, is we're creating a funnel. And I'm sure that's a term everybody knows, but what does it mean exactly? Is we're gathering all of these people in the top of the funnel, and we're going to grab their names, grab their contact information, and then we're going to have processes that brings down to where we have our actual customers, to kind of weed out the people that aren't really interested or aren't really our market, and to get down to the sales, to the people that really need the product or service that you're offering. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what we're creating. And one of the great ways to do that is with a landing page.
Yes.
And a landing page is basically an extension of your website. It's a special part of a website a created website that just deals with the offer that you're giving, with that one specific thing, and it's a lead capturing area on the internet, on the website.
Because sometimes a website can just be overwhelming. You don't want people to spend a lot of time trying to search for what it is you're trying to give them. So if you have, and this kind of goes with what we said last week about having people in the right places at the right times, and how you measure that. A great way to measure if people are actually interested in a product or service you're offering is by using those landing pages, because you have a very clear URL and you have a clear URL, and you have a clear offer that you're giving that's only on this landing page.
Offer,
yeah, that's only on this landing page. And if you can see how many people are interested in this, like that it's a great way to bring people in.
It's a great test to see where you want it, if that's something that's going to work for sure. So it's got to be something that's compelling, that makes people want to sign up. So when if you're a company that can, I don't even know what to do here. If you're a company that's I feel like I'm going to get bit. I don't know. You're a crafty one. Okay, it's going to be funny if I get bit, I guess. He says he's not really mean, but he does like to play with his teeth.
He likes to play with his teeth.
He thinks that's that. I don't know. Anyway, I don't even know where my train of thought is now.
Roll the footage.
Yeah. So when you are thinking about creating something for this particular part of your marketing, make sure you're really giving value. That this is something that when they do sign up, it is really something of value. So if it's an ebook, it's really a valuable thing that's going to help them. That will keep them engaged. It's just really the right thing to do, is to really give something that is of value to the customer. Make sure it's clear to read. Make sure it's visually appealing, and really, they're quite easy to create. They're not that difficult. There's a lot of different sites that you can go to put a landing page like that together. That's just for them.
Templates.
Yeah, and usually they'll help you with an A and B. you always want to try the A and B test, which is just simply taking the same idea but presenting it in two different ways to see which one is more appealing to your target audience. And it's a really invaluable thing to do.
Yeah. So a compelling headline, concise copy, a visual appeal, and your call to action. That's all you need in your landing page, one page, and then you can bring in leads there.
Okay, and so then when you have this landing page, right, most likely in today's type of marketing, we are collecting emails. That is the big thing. It's an important thing to do, because once you have an email, that your connection with that person is yours, because you have an email and permission to email to them. When you don't have that, you just maybe interact with somebody, let's say on the social media platform, we all know that sometimes social media platforms go out of business, and then there goes that target that you had. Like, I can't think of the one, they did the little short
Vine,
right?
Vine.
Everybody was doing their thing on there, and then all of a sudden one day we didn't have that anymore, right? So it's important for you to have those emails, and they're yours, and you can market to those emails at your leisure. You're not going to usually lose those unless the person wants to opt out of your list. So you've got your landing page, collected the email, and now you're going to think about email marketing. That's where that comes in. That's another section of your funnel.
Mm-hmm. It's now they've come in for an offer. They've given you an email. You've promised them a webinar, a free book, maybe a discounted item, a sample of some sort, a free trial. You now have their email, and they have a part of your business. Mm-hmm. So we have traded one for the other, and they are both of equal value in this sense. You now have their email, and then it's time to what is next? The next is when you create that email campaign, you are understanding. I think we talked about this. I don't remember if it was week 2 or 3, but when we were talking about segmenting your customers, right? So when you get that email, you know why that person came. You know that this person came because they wanted my webinar for free, or because they wanted a sample of this, or because they wanted a trial of this app. So you understand kind of where on your in your totem pole of target audiences where this person lies. So they've been put into this segmented audience, and now segmented emails get sent to this audience. And these emails, they need to be personalized. They need to not just address them as like, hello customer, they need to have the name, which is why having their name is also great when you're collecting emails. Like, don't just collect the email, collect the name so that it says, hi, John, hi, Kathy. It makes them feel like, okay, like they know who I am. This is personalized to me. The email also needs to have valuable content, much like the landing page. It needs to, this email campaign that you set out can't just be, hey, Kathy, what's up? Try this product, let us know what you think. Thanks, bye. It needs to have, like, what are you trying to tell them? Are you trying to give them information? Are you trying to give them, is it useful? Is it relevant to the things that they already like about your business? Is it something that, hey, we know that you like these, and so maybe we think you would also like to try this? And then it needs to be consistent. And we don't recommend sending off, like, emails every day, or really even every week, but maybe anywhere from every 2 weeks to every 4 weeks, you're sending off an email, depending on what your marketing looks like and where the majority of your people are. Because you want to stay fresh in people's mind, but you don't want to stay so fresh that they get sick and tired of seeing your name pop up. Yeah, that's what you don't want. Yeah. So to try to steer from that, stay in touch with them, and it's also a great way. Like, imagine if you're sitting there and you're like, wow, I really need to go get my teeth cleaned, and then all of a sudden you look down your phone and a dentist that you had signed up something with, giving your email pops up, and then you're like, oh, I'll just go to them. That's cool, right? And that person now now has a patient because they decided to send out an email, and if they hadn't, then you wouldn't probably have thought of them to go and get your teeth cleaned out. And that's kind of how you have to think about it.
I also wanted to mention that it's email, but also if you're able to get a text, not text, but a phone number that where you can text, if you get permission for that, That's also a really, really good way because you're really just,
It's always there.
it's always there. And, what are we looking at more these days? We're looking at our phones, and text messages are just so much faster. And you can provide offers. Now, you can't really write information. It wouldn't be a good place for information, but it might be good for coupons or something like that, some kind of offer that you're giving, or a nice little have a great Monday, might be nice in some situations. So I think that names, emails, and a phone number if you get permission, and do not go overboard on that, because nobody wants that. You'll end up opting out for that, but I think that's also an important
I have
idea.
Opted out for so many.
Yeah, because usually right now, the idea is they'll want your email, but then, hey, if you want another 20% off, give us your number. And so, yeah, I do that too. And then you got your phone ding and ding and ding, and you're kind of distracted by that. And if it's not something you're going to buy on a regular, I've opted out quite often too. Yeah. So that's why I say do not overdo that. Do not overstep that, and make sure that when you are offering something, it's compelling. If you're going to actually do the phone to text.
I mean, just remember that it's not the only thing you're doing. The email marketing, the SMS marketing, it's not the only thing you're doing. So if you're like, if I don't put an email out or a text message out every day or every week, then how will they remember me?
Yeah.
Maybe they follow you on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they get notifications on their computer on your website. Maybe they read your blog. I don't know. Maybe they watch your videos. They go to your YouTube.
Right.
There are probably other places. So you don't want to just attack them in one specific place.
And as you said, that email needs to provide value. Should not just be a selling place. You can ask for a call to action, but it should certainly give them value, because that will keep you in their inbox.
I mean, especially when you go in and you get an email and it says, "Hey, we see that you've purchased this, and we see that you like these clothes or these items that we have or these services, and based off that, we think you would find a lot of value in these things that we also offer." It shows that you know them, you understand what it is that they're even here for. You're not trying to market them something that is completely nothing that they would want. They've trusted you with their email, and you have taken that and you have shown them that, okay, I understand you as a customer, and I'm thinking that you might like this, and if not, here's like a 10% off of the items you already like, or whatever it is.
And that segues good into the to scoring and nurturing your leads. To figure out what scoring basically means, how likely basically are they to being a customer of yours, and you gather that information through different things, like how much they match the profile. So you might learn some things here. You might see that your target was off, that actually these group of people are more suited. That's it, for your products or services.
And we talked about that in the first chapter, to not get so stuck on who you think your target audience is.
So this is going to be it, where you're going to be able to get an idea of where they came from, and you'll see how close were they to the target, and maybe you do get your target, the thing you set up, and maybe there's these outliers here, and maybe they're never going to buy from you because they're really not your market. For some reason they just wanted something for free, or sort of like timeshares.
Don't know anything about that.
Sort of like timeshares, where there's always the group who have no idea, they're never going to buy anything. They're just there for that free, vacation, or
vacations if you're watching.
And they have to be strong and say no, so they're not really the target. They weren't really the right market, and they're in there for the free thing. So you start to score your leads. Also taking a look at engagement. Do they engage on posts? How much into the company are they? Then the other one is the intent. Did they actually, like, maybe you had some sort of quiz for them to fill out. Did they actually fill out that quiz? What is the intent? What does it look like? Do you think that they're intending to buy or use your service? How far did they go along in the process? So this is called scoring, and kind of nurturing your leads down the funnel now, based off of their interaction and how often how likely they are to buy your product.
And depending on that will depend on how you further continue to market to them. You know, are they just somebody who is looking for information? Or are they just somebody who is just browsing products? Or somebody who is looking, you know, to buy that day, buy very soon, buy for somebody else?
Because you might have round 3, you know, in marketing to them, continuously marketing in a different way. You know, another time, maybe a percentage off just to this one group that's close, and you want them to, you know, to actually try it out. So you'll be able to maneuver your message based off of the scoring feature that you put into place. It's really important. You know, and you need to have a system in which you can do that, in which you can kind of take a look at those leads that come in for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've had things in carts, and then I have left because I'm like, I'm not going to get it, so I'm just going to walk away. Then I have got notifications saying, hey, we saw that you left something in the cart. Are you planning on coming back? We want to offer you another 20% off if you come back right now in the next 5 minutes and purchase this item.
Or have you ever been in the middle of the process and you pushing buttons, and then you get to the price maybe, and you're like, oh no, I don't want this now, and you try to get out of it, and they're like, hey, are you sure? That is actually scoring in real time. The lead. Okay, are you sure? Hey, don't leave, we'll give you a percentage off. I've done that happens a lot in apps, the way they market apps, you know, where you kind of sign up and you're like, oh, I don't know if if I have to pay for this or not, and then you get in there and they're like, oh, I have to pay, how much is it? Well, I don't want to pay that much, and then you try to get out, and they're like, "Wait, did we say 100? No, it's just $49.99." You know, so then you feel compelled that maybe, oh, it's half, so yeah, I'll buy it. That is scoring in real time, scoring the lead, in real time. So you might have a business or service that you can do that type of scoring in real time.
Yeah, because obviously they know you wanted to purchase, but it was probably when you got to the checkout that made you go, okay, no.
Yes.
And they're like, all right, here's 90% off.
Exactly. It's exactly what happens sometimes. So, so yeah, that's it. You are going to be starting to capture leads. So go ahead and fill out that part. You know, you want to start designing a landing page that would be suited for your business. Look at emails. You can use email marketing companies like HubSpot, like MailChimp. They're relatively easy to use, I would say. I don't know if they are, if it's just for me.
MailChimp is very user-friendly.
Okay.
It's very basic, user-friendly. HubSpot is a little bit more advanced, but nothing too crazy. And there's just so many, and some of them do a lot better in terms of if you're in e-commerce, if you're a service-based business. It just depends because they offer different types of things. Some, if your web hoster might offer email. Really, you want to find the one that gives the best analytics and has the easiest user interface for you to be able to understand what's going on.
Yeah, don't be intimidated by landing pages. This is a good little discussion about even AI. There are AI places that you can go to have landing pages created, and you don't be afraid of AI. Kind of, take the stance of leaning into something that's just going to be here. So lean into it and use it for these types of things, because you can create some really, really good things with the use of some AI interfaces on the internet.
Absolutely.
So lean into it and utilize it, because that's what it's here for. And you can get really nice landing pages. Don't be intimidated by any of that. So take the messaging that we talked about before, and let's create a template which you can kind of fill out on the pages in here. There's some questions for you to answer, so that you can kind of get started on creating the capturing leads. So like outline the strategy that you have. How are you going to nurture your leads? How are you going to score them, basically? What kind of things can you do in your business to create that? And then what tools or platforms that will you use to manage it, like MailChimp or HubSpot, and kind of get your your emails going, and even texting. There's software for that as well, where you can have the text messages go out on a regular, semi-regular basis. Be careful again with that one, but it can be really powerful because every one of us carries that around in our pockets, and so having that ding and having some great offer can really be a good thing for a lot of types of businesses, even if it's just to, wish them a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or something. It's a nice thing to do and to have.
And don't just rely on analytics, but think about even surveying people that are already subscribed to you or subscribed to your SMS, and just send out something and ask, like, hey, would you take the survey? And have it ask questions like, what do you think about the amount that we send? Do you think the content we send is valuable? Ask the people that have already done the part where they've given you the email or their phone number. Ask them what they like, if they think that what you're doing is good. If they're your target audience already, then you might as well just hear it from the source.
The more you interact and you create a relationship with your target, the better you will be when you're competing with other people in your space.
Absolutely.
If you can do this better than them, or differently and better, you're just going to be more competitive. And that's what you want.
Yes.
All right.
That is chapter 4.
You should have 4 sections filled out, ready to go.
Yes. If you have any questions about what we talked about here, do not hesitate to DM us on any of our social media platforms. If you don't have a copy yet of our book, check out our Amazon. The description is in the link. What? The link is in the description below. And you can.
I think we're crashing. I think we're crashing.
The link is in the description below, and you can go ahead and grab yourself a copy, either an ebook copy or a paperback copy. You can go ahead and grab the workbook part off of the website, so you can write in it however many times you want, mess up, start over, whatever it might be. But go ahead and follow us, subscribe, send us a comment, like, follow, any of the things that you can do. Shout us out. Share this with a friend if you think somebody else would find this information valuable. And we really look forward to, hearing more about what you guys have to think about this, and just continuing with this and giving you all the knowledge that we possibly can.
Yep. It's been fun.
Yeah. So have a great week, everybody.
Yep.
And
we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.